Hello, I decided I would read another book. I haven't done that for a long time, and I really like this book, and I think I never did get a chance to read it to Silas and Forrest. And I cannot remember if I've ever read it to Caedmon Rhodes or Leland, and I know I have not read it to Townsend. So I'm going to read The Kissing Hand. It is a very sweet book. It is by Audrey Penn. What are these animals? They're raccoons. What else is there? A rabbit. Oh, do you know what these are? Possums. This is to Stephanie, Rebecca, Karen, and children everywhere who love to be loved. And I think you guys love to be loved. I know I love to love you. Chester Raccoon. I thought that was a castle at first when I looked at it, but now I realize it's trees. So here it is. I need to push this back a little bit. Let's see here. Chester Raccoon. That must be him. He looks a little sad, but I sometimes think raccoons look sad because of the way their eyes are. Stood at the edge of the forest and cried. Oh, he is sad. I don't want to go to school, he told his mother. I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing and maybe jump on my trampoline. Please, may I stay home with you? Wow, sometimes it's not fun to go to school. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him on the ear. You can hardly see him. But right there he is, and there's Mama, and there's a bird. And there's a squirrel. He's camouflaged. Sometimes we all have to do things we don't really want to do, she told him gently, even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you get started. Daisies. You'll make new friends and play with new toys. Oh, he's making a friend with a woodpecker. And look, he's playing in a sandbox. And there's a mouse, I think. Maybe he's friends with the mouse. You'll read new books and swing on new swings. Oh, he's swinging with a skunk. Can you see that? Swinging. Besides, she added, I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights. Oh, they go to school at night. Night at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home. What is that secret? Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. A secret? What kind of secret? A very old secret, said Mrs. Raccoon. I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from her mother, and it's called the kissing hand. The kissing hand? Asked Chester. What is that? So see, the mother's taking Chester's paw, isn't it? Taking his. I'll show you. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's paw. Left hand, actually. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. And leaning forward, she kissed his hand right in the middle of his palm. You know what your palm is? It says right in the middle of your palm. That's what Mrs. Raccoon did to Chester. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand up his arm and into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. So sweet. And look here. All the little hearts going up his arms from the mother. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. Now, she told Chester, whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, you just press your hand to your cheek and think, Mommy loves me. Mommy loves you. And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty, warm thoughts. And he should also think, Jesus loves me. God made me. That's sweet, isn't it? That's a pretty picture. So what happens? She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. Now, do be careful not to lose it, she said. She sort of teased him. But don't worry, when you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will still be there. It will stick. Well, let's see what else is in this picture now. Let's see. I think that's a little mouse. There's a turtle, like the turtle I had at my house this morning. There's a rabbit. And there's a deer. He looks surprised. Can you see that? And the leaves are starting to fall, so it must be autumn. Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. See, he's thinking about his hand. And then what's he thinking? There's again, he's thinking about his hand. And then he's playing with a ball. That's fun. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. Give me your hand, he said. Oh, look, there's a spider. There's that mouse again. And there's a big bird. I guess the raccoons go to school because they're nocturnal animals. They are awake at night. Chester took his mother's hand. Look, there he has his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. And next, he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. Now you have a kissing hand too, he said. And with a gentle goodbye and I love you, Chester turned and danced away. That's true. Sometimes we have to do things we don't like to do and be sick and not like to be sick. But we can remember that our mothers love us, our dads love us, grandma loves us, the other grandparents all love us too, and especially Jesus loves us. Lots of rabbits are going to school. Oh, look. And there's a fox going to school. And there's the deer, and there's the skunk, and all the rabbits. The kissing hand. Oh, I thought the book was over. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across the field. Oh, across the tree limb and enter school. And as the hoot owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and smiled. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. Chester loves you, it's saying. Chester loves you. Do you think the owl's the teacher? I bet the owl is the teacher. And there's Chester on the tree limb. And there's the mama, remembering that her baby loves her. And he's remembering mama loves him. Whoa, look at the school. There's the owl. There's a bird, and there's the mouse. There's some books. Oh, even got a couple frogs there. What else is there? A fox, and of course, all these rabbits. The possums are up there. There's lots. And there's the deer. This is a very cute book, and it's very nice illustrations. I love you. I think everybody knows, I hope everybody knows, that is the sign language sign for I love you. Grandma always has a little hard time doing it. This was the kissing hand. Love you guys.